Hello, Oracles. We are less than 24 hours away from Tesla's earnings tomorrow. So today we're going to go over a Tesla earnings preview based upon my numbers and other numbers that were out there in the Tesla community as well. So we'll take a look at those Tesla community analysts, those numbers, what we could see for EPS, margins, and some other important numbers to go along with these earnings. We'll also go into the say questions that have been out there, and we'll kind of digest and see what Tesla may be saying for answers to all of these questions. In the past, I've been pretty relatively accurate, so we'll take a look at those questions, see what we can come up with. And then again, tomorrow we're going to be doing a live stream. Peggy will be joining us. Live stream will start around 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll check out the earnings, and then we're going to just have a discussion about that until the earnings call, and then stick on live to go and listen to the earnings call as well. So we'll get into all those numbers in just a minute. All right, so before we get into the earnings preview numbers, just taking a look at the charts as usual. Not much stock movement today. It did move a bit up and down over the course of the day, but it ended pretty flat, up 0.37%. Kind of expected that day before earnings. Not a lot of people are going to be coming in here making a lot of moves, waiting to see what's going to happen tomorrow at earnings. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. Here are the estimates from many in the Tesla community, these Tesla community analysts. So Peggy posted out here on behalf of Tesla Karav, who is busy working hard at school. Keep on busting your butt, kid. I love it. So here are the Tesla Q3 EPS estimates non-GAAP. So we've got Tesla Fan Metal at 70 cents, Troy Tesla at 71 cents, Gary Black at 72 cents, Honey Jam Tesla and myself at 77 cents, Farziness Farzad at 78 cents, Matt Chasm Matt at 81 cents, Tesla Larry at 82 cents, Peggy himself at 85 cents, and James I cannot underscore enough at $1.02. Analyst consensus was 73 cents. It has been lowered by Yahoo to 70 cents. IR compiled estimate is 72 cents. And now Gary Black had posted out as well earlier in the day, the Tesla IR compiled consensus shows Q3 adjusted EPS of 72 cents. That is what Gary's EPS estimate is as well. The Tesla IR does not show an estimate for auto gross margins X credits, although Bloomberg shows Wall Street at 17.7%. Gary is at 17.1%. The IR shows a consolidated Tesla gross margin of 17.7%, same as Gary's estimate as well. The fiscal year volumes for the IR survey are now at 1.815, so 1.8 million vehicles being delivered. That implies a Q4 of 491,000. That is right around the ballpark that we have been talking. I was talking about 495,000 as my estimates. And that leads to a fiscal year 23 adjustment of $3.31, down 37% year to date. And other important numbers to look at here are going to be the operating margin percent. We discussed it yesterday how Q2 was the lowest we have seen, and so the average and median right now is coming in at 8.9 and 9%. And that is below the 9.6% that we got in Q2. So while we thought Q2 was going to be the bottom, when Elon let us know that we were probably going to be seeing lower production and in turn potentially lower deliveries in Q3, led us to believe that maybe we would see lower margins as well. We were hopeful, thinking that maybe they were going to be turning things around with the Highland, but due to the fact that the Highland is not delivering until Q4, they took the margin hit for it with the expenses, but they're not going to be able to reap the benefits for it until Q4 at the earliest. So chances are we are going to be seeing a lower operating margin here in Q3 than we did in Q2. So overall, it's not the best. We're going to be looking at, again, worse numbers than we saw in Q2, most likely. This again is just a near-term situation that we're dealing with. Long-term, this is still going to be good. You look at the fundamentals underneath, Tesla's still building up their cash pile. They're still building up production. They're making all the right moves that they need to make for all of their future plans. This is moving in the right direction. Their current deliveries just aren't doing all that well. Now, we also heard about Lucid, and now granted, as Gary Black puts it, they're trying to put out a vehicle in a space that is not ready for that vehicle right now. It's horrible timing on Lucid's part. They have a vehicle that's over $100,000 during difficult economic times with rising interest rates. Terrible combination. And as he says, no amount of advertising is going to make up for a poor strategy when it comes to your vehicle production and deliveries. So that's where they're at right now, and they're really stuck. They're in a very difficult place. Don't know if they're going to be able to pull out of it. Rivian seems to be doing much better than Lucid is, but Tesla, of course, we know is setting up for all of this and preparing themselves for what could potentially be maybe a rough 2024. But don't forget, in 2024, we will be most likely seeing interest rates coming down by the end of the year. When that happens, that's when we're going to start seeing maybe some breathing room coming back in. Still going to be a pretty rough year, so we'll see how Tesla handles it. Tomorrow is going to be the next step in that process. And now Troy had reached out to me and asked what my error rate was for the last year when it comes to EPS expectations and estimates. So I'd never actually put everything together to see what my error rate was. So I looked at my history and what my estimates were versus the actual readings for Tesla, and here is my breakdown. So my breakdown right here is relatively consistently either really good or really awful. So I missed Q2 of 2022 by 9 cents or 11.84%, Q3 of 2022 by 4 cents, 3.81%, Q4 of 2022 by 17 cents or 14.29%, Q1 of 23 by 12 cents or 14%, and Q2 of 2023 was my best one. I missed by 3 cents, off by 3.3%. So again, my estimate for tomorrow is going to be 77 cents. We will see how accurate I am. So now we'll jump into the say questions, quickly go over those and what I think Tesla is going to be saying to these. Now, in the past, Tesla has surprised us. Some things where I thought Tesla wasn't going to give us any information, they definitely disclosed a lot more than I thought they would. So perhaps we're going to get the same this time around, but we'll briefly go through the top 5 or 6 questions and see what Tesla may be saying. So I will break these down by top voted because that is how Tesla answers them. First question: how many Cybertruck deliveries do you anticipate for 2024? This I have no doubt they will answer. I have a feeling the answer is going to be probably close to 50,000. That is what my guess would be. I hope that that's what they have for a number coming out. This year alone, I don't think we're going to see much more than, if we're lucky, 10,000. So hey, if Tesla comes out and says they expect 100,000 deliveries next year, that would be awesome, but I think 50,000 is a lot more realistic. Next question: when do you expect Model 3 Highland to be available in the US? This is actually an awesome question. There were rumors last year when we heard about Shanghai going into the Highland that Fremont was going to be coming afterwards. So we've already seen Shanghai, of course. So now we're wondering, is Fremont going to be coming online as well and having that whole changeover to the Highland also? Don't know about that. Don't know if plans have changed. We shall see, but hopefully they answer this on the call tomorrow. Next question: can you provide a progress update on the 4680 cell, particularly progress towards performance improvements and cost savings outlined on Battery Day? So this here was discussed by Drew Baglino previously when he was discussing how the Battery Day presentation was set up to have this running through 2026. So they started it going in 2023 into 2024 and really kind of getting a feel for things to get them into the vehicles. And they really wanted to ramp up production on these in 2024 and then work out the fine details and make them better by 2026. So it's still a 3-year project ahead of us that they're going through, but it would be nice to see if they are still on track to meet that goal. Next question: will Optimus be working on Gigafactory lines next year? If so, how many would you guess would be deployed? This is another great question, and it's something that we've been pondering, and Elon is very optimistic about it, thinking that we're going to be seeing Optimus working in the factories a lot sooner than most people thought. I'm guessing sometime around 2026 or 2027, but he may actually say, yeah, next year we're going to have it be doing some basic things on the factory floor. Maybe it's something that I don't know if they're going to have it set up in Austin to be doing because again, Elon wants everything centralized in Austin. This is where their engineers are. This is where they can figure out the problems. So I think if we do end up seeing Optimus working on the factory floors next year, it is definitely going to be in Austin. This may be something that they work up for Optimus and then decide, hey, we're seeing what's going on with Optimus here in Austin. We're going to now lay out the new factories in Mexico and India to be able to accommodate for Optimus so he can learn even better in those factories. Could be something that we see in the future. So whether we see them actually on the floor next year or not, hopefully they answer this on the call tomorrow. Can you please provide an update on capacity expansion plans for the company's factories in Berlin and Austin and the opening schedule of Gigafactory Mexico? Now, I have a feeling they may actually answer these questions before they even get to this portion of the call. These are things that they're most likely going to be going over anyway. They're probably going to be in the shareholder deck, the production capacities of both factories, what the plans are for the future for Austin as we're getting ramped up with the compact car, the Cybertruck, Optimus, All of these different things I have no doubt we're going to see. Probably going to be discussing the breaking ground of Mexico and when that's going to be happening, when they think they're actually going to be finalizing the building and start production. So, again, we may hear about all of that long before we get to these questions, but if not, I have no doubt they're going to be answering that. I think Mexico is most likely going to be coming online end of 2024, beginning of 2025, we'll end up seeing production starting. But again, seeing as they were going to be starting with the next generation platform vehicle in Mexico and have now shifted that to Austin, they may not be as pressed to push Mexico along as fast. They may end up pushing this off until mid to late 2025 for production starting there so that they can get all the kinks worked out of the compact car in Austin first. How is FSD version 12 progress going? What are the biggest challenges? How will you extract a mind's eye view from an end-to-end network? So this here is very engineer oriented. So I'm sure Elon's going to love this question, but it's nice to see this because we're really curious, when are we going to see version 12? We've been hearing about, hearing FSD going global by the end of this year, most likely in Europe and probably China. Is this actually still on track? Are we still going to be getting FSD going global over there? Do we need to wait for version 12 for it to go global, or can we go global before then? So these are big questions. Obviously, we know Elon's been driving around with this. It's been learning very quickly. So how fast is it learning? And with Dojo being online now, how much is that speeding up the process? So I have no doubt we're going to be diving into that significantly in this question. And I'm hoping that we're going to be hearing about version 12 being available for release for everyone by sometime, maybe by Q2 of next year. And last question, which is probably going to be answered in the same as the first question: when are Cybertrucks going to start going into full production? So now tomorrow, I have no doubt they're going to be announcing the Cybertruck delivery event. I've got rumors saying that the event might be October 27th or 28th. Not really sure, but we will find out. That would be about 10 days after this earnings call. So not a lot of time, but Tesla kind of wants to build it up and they really can't tell us much, but Tesla wants to build it up and probably wanted to build up a good stockpile of these Cybertrucks, which we have been seeing out there. So we don't know what the actual production is on them to this point, or if they're actual full true production going on right now. But once we find out when full production start is going to be, Elon's already told us it's going to be a slow ramp. So it's not like they're going to hit production and is going to jump online like Shanghai did when they came back from COVID. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be slow. It's a brand new vehicle that they haven't built before. So they're going to have a lot of bugs that they need to work out of this. So they've been working on that all along. But once they hit full production, it's going to be another set of challenges that they need to face. So hopefully Elon can say, confirm, maybe, hey, we have started full production on this, and this is when we're going to have the delivery event starting. So I'm sure we're going to be getting answers on that tomorrow as well. Now, my big question is going to be, when are we going to get the pricing for all of the Cybertruck? Now, we might end up getting that as well. Perhaps after the earnings call, or maybe on Thursday morning, we will end up getting the pricing for the Cybertruck on the page. Have not seen anything yet. Maybe it comes out before the earnings call. Who knows? But I have no doubt very soon we are going to be hearing about what the pricing and all the packages are for the Cybertruck and what the progress is on the earnings call. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Really looking forward to this earnings tomorrow. Again, these earnings here are just another stepping stone along the way for us to follow progress. So whether it beats, meets, or misses doesn't truly matter in the long term. What's really going to matter is how they did, what their progress is going to be going forward. They are still a growth company, still moving up. So as long as we see that they are moving in the right direction fundamentally, that's all that matters. So we will see all of that tomorrow. So I hope to see all of you tomorrow on the live stream. Again, that starts at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Peggy will be joining us as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support. Have a great one.